Hello and welcome back to PECO TV. Today we're introducing the Scottish Highland Lineside laser cut range. These new Scottish themed kits represent buildings found on the West Highland Line extensions between Fort William and Mallaig. Our kits have been modelled on the buildings from Arisaig station, but are also like those found at Glenfinnan, as well as others found in the West Highlands. First of all though, you're going to need the right tools to do the job, and the PECO Tools Kit Builders toolset, the PT200, has everything you need to get started. I also recommend these glues, and I would also suggest using these hairdressing double-pronged curled clips for holding items together when gluing. Now before we go any further, we need to talk about paint. We have teamed up with the guys from Rainbow Railways who have produced an extensive set of paints and colours accurately depicting different eras for these buildings. For this particular build, I am going to paint my station buildings in the latest ScotRail livery of blue and white, dark grey and light grey. Right, so now it's over to Jeff. He starts off by constructing the front wall. He does this by joining the bay window wall plinths together and attaching the outer wall edges, followed by the centre arch. Next, it's the bay window walls, followed by the bay window frames. Then he attaches the little roof sections to the bay windows and fits the window sills. Next, Jeff uses wood filler to hide the joints on the bay window frames and the bay window walls. After the filler has been sanded, we would recommend spraying the undercoat before putting on a top coat. Next, Jeff begins painting the doors and window frames in preparation before fitting. Now he begins building the end wall sections and fitting the plinths and the window sills in their positions. Then Jeff brings the rear wall components together. Then it's an exercise in painting the internal walls, doors and remaining exterior parts of the building. It is important to stress that when painting a natural material such as wood, you must let it dry completely before proceeding with the assembly. Now the time has come to bring all the walls together to form the lower sections of the building. Once all the walls are together, it's time to attach the base of the roof. Jeff has sprayed the underside with white primer and left it to dry before fitting it onto the top of the building and gluing into position. Next, Jeff attaches the front and the rear frame supports, followed by the end support parts 40 and 41, which must be fitted the correct way around. Then he fits all of the A-frames, followed by the roof ridge, plus the interlocking gable ends into the roof ridge. And when they are glued into position, he then paints the edges blue. This is to represent the guttering. After spraying the roof tiles with a grey primer and leaving them to dry, they're now ready to fit. Now the style of roof on this building is called a Dutch gable. Each span of the roof has been made in two sections at varying angles. Jeff starts by fitting the lower span of each roof section and working his way round the building, making sure they fit in between the roof ridges and then gluing them into place. As you can see, he's using the hairdresser clips to hold the sections of roof in place whilst the glue sets. Then he repeats this process with the upper portions of the roof spans. When the glue has set, Jeff paints the roof. And when dry, Jeff next attaches the downpipes for the guttering, followed by the information boards. Then he cuts out and fits the glazing. Now this next stage is a personal favourite that Jeff and I like to do when creating a more convincing finish to the roof on our buildings. We're going to give it lead flashing, just like that found on the building in real life. Jeff cuts a 4mm wide strip of tissue paper and glues them along the diagonal ridges and uses a 7mm wide strip of tissue paper for the central roof ridge. Using a paintbrush, he applies watered down PVA glue directly onto the roof ridge and onto the edges of the roof spans. Then he lays the tissue paper over the top like this. And again, he uses a paintbrush dipped in watered down PVA glue and applies a second coat over the top. And then we leave it to dry overnight. Then it's a simple case of painting and attaching the chimney stack and chimney pot, and then Jeff completes the building by painting the flashing on the roof ridge a lead colour. And that's it. It's all ready to go on your layout. The Lineside laser cut range will continue to expand with more unique and interesting buildings in the future. So, until the next time, happy modelling!